Today they were following me again. I did want to tell you that at 1260 Fairlawn Street, there's an apartment building in Louisville. There's a lady in there that yells illegal surveillance too. She was seen with the guy that went to Paymer for Caldwell Beck. The guy that looks like the cooking show. She's yelled illegal surveillance and altered tapes. And they were out there like 2 Thanksgivings ago yelling, we had all the, how do they put it? We had all the evidence from the police. They'll never find it. Yeah, right. But she was seen with the guy that went to Paymer. My old client Jeff seen him. We were in McDonald's, Louisville. He got behind me. Yeah, right, we didn't have a right to chip you while U.S. Supreme Court 18-10134. 2005 11th Circuit. Our government recognizes remote neuromonitoring and electronic brain links as a legal strategy for the truth. So are you a terrorist? Right? Because I went to the FBI building in Canton. Why would you think you're chipped? They need to pull Will's case, 12/21/18. And then they framed the FBI at Altman Hospital, March 13, 21, 2:53 p.m. They have fake badges. Now, I told you they walked around Walmart. The case is called Karen's Will from the agency. We're agents from the agency stationed in the courthouse. No, you're dirty cops. Okay? Everybody fell for it. The case is called Karen's Will from the agency. And I thought it was because I called Law God. I didn't know how to explain them. So I told everybody I prayed and left all my problems at God's feet and prayed God's will over everything. So that's the bad guys. Cops in uniform call it Karen around the house. Protective light custody for informant. That the FBI created in Canton, September 27th, 18. Turned over the police not knowing there was a judge's daughter involved, and he didn't look into anything. And they had had a man go out and pretend he was an FBI, telling me before I called Will back, and then they drugged me up where I had giant bruises and hand marks. They were even abusing me under drugs. I couldn't remember to tell him that, or the guy that tried to kidnap me, tried to carjack me, threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle, and he could get that guy. I could only remember the What a Shame guy. My mind was so gone. Amnesia drugs aren't funny. They talked about it April 14th, 22 and Save a Lot. They really did do that. Yeah. About having a man go up pretending he was FBI so Dave could confront me. Before I called that agent back, and how sick all this is. That's not my fault. I was being victimized on ungodly levels. It's Will's fault as a federal agent not to look into anything. They're that advanced to have somebody pretend they're a federal agent. And then drug up the victim so they couldn't remember. That's bitch. Intelligent bitch, but bitch. But that apartment building, there's a lady that lives in there, and she's yelled illegal surveillance. They were over there yelling about the 2 clips together, put her in, actually that was the other neighbor, the 2 clips together, put her in porn. It's not her, it's them. They were renting them out to the neighbors. But she was out there with another lady. We had all the evidence from the police. They'll never find it. Yeah, okay. He created a real protected life case. A heavy-set cop talked to Dave within a day or 2. So he made a public statement at Walmart about those people threatening me. And that's what the Department of Justice requires. You have to give a formal statement. They have to agree to protect you, and then you have the other people spoke to the threat before they can initiate, or it's abusive misconduct and illegal search and seizure. Nothing before that. But if they want the guy that went to Paymer, looks like the guy from the cooking show. Shave his face, young it up. She was seen with it. My client Jeff seen him in the McDonald's drive-thru. He drives to meet him with a little vehicle. So, yeah, and she's yelled all kinds of crazy crap at me. I don't know her. I told you about the guy admitting to framing me March 24th, 22. My car tapes, everybody heard him You framed her before? Yeah, I framed her before. I feel bad about everything. Um, I wish I wouldn't have done it. Those people even raped her. And he's like, you should. Amy heard it in her apartment building, or mute, psycho and close to the fence. Read out Dave, 8, 9, first thing in the morning, that he had, where I was getting sick on his drinks and I thought he was poisoning me. Here he's roofing me. To get me to say stupid stuff, and then he defends me on tape. Last night they were out harassing me. So I got 2 videos of him defending me. Played up my vehicle. People drove by. She's never hurt anybody. Yeah. I was never weird with myself. May 12th, 22, Bubba's Restaurant, noon, men that were following me. They were out there yelling at those idiots. We told those boys none of this is funny. We found the tape of them admitting it was a shower scene in the other room. Because they were saying stuff that didn't happen. Okay? And I got witnesses of like 3 different scenes. And different places. And it just, it's like I only touched myself like that, showering. Sitting talking alone, we walk outside. She figured out what they did. My car's bugged from that legally bugged protective life case, and those idiots sold it. Do you know they could go to jail for selling that information? The only one who should hear me is the police. You do realize that. They told Ed at the Oakland apartment December 9, 21, 4 p.m. All the tapes before were them, not her. It's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. Stark County Hunger Task Force, December 9, 21, white man bald with dark eyes was a security guard. Disturbing food came out of the back. They taped an audio in there. They always knew the tapes before were them, not her, so they never said a word. They both talked to investigators and the police, okay? Even a lady that went, I guess it goes from you just simply wipe something off. Or nurse at Mercy Medical, March 13, 21. After I was mistreated at Altman Hospital and over there, some lady came in and told him no man was ever to touch her. And then the nurse comes in laughing. The only thing you had on you was you simply wiped off water clothes on. The guy said, that's sick. She said, no, all she did is adjust herself. It's actually funny. Well, they talked about it in Rite Aid. Well, you didn't expose yourself. You're going to run around Marks, Cleveland Avenue last March. You know, they could try to say that one, Mark. They're laughing. Some guys yelled at them. You'd have to shut down the nation, say something about that. Well, with March 2nd to the 3rd, 21, they're going to put 2 clips together. Put her in a porn. It's not her. It's them. And 8:30, 10:30 at night. And it's like the only time I touch myself like that is showering. I walk outside. She figured out what they did. Shower scene in the other room. So bad. That's why it goes from that. And then January this year, 22, Circle K gas station on Fulton Road, 6th Street. Some lady came in while I'm using the bathroom first thing in the morning. We made a big mistake being in her home, and me and my group can verify she's never said she did anything wrong before where they got drug confessions. They didn't let her see it. And she was the 2nd level, the weird or whatever. And when people found out she didn't see a drug confession, a whole group gave up harassing. And then when I start telling who knows about it being photoshopped, a lot more gave up. But then they send out more hate crimes and have people follow me. It's horrible. And until they find out they're manipulated by a shower scene put in the other room, then they give up and that I was drugged and told to say stuff. I got a whole list of those people. You know, I was thinking, March, yeah. I guess this one lady, I found the time and date when she said it. I guess they got like exposing weird, totally washing. And that's what it is. It's a washing scene. I told you the guy I met at Frame, even Amy heard him. They heard it clear out at Ron's because they sold the login. We all heard that bastard admit to Framingham. Even part of the people that were part of the illegal surveillance in that red building, they looked at me the other day. We felt bad about helping out in any of this. Yeah. It was a shower scene. He was out. Some guy was on the phone talking to him. You really did frame her before him. Okay. Yeah, it's not funny. They put a shower scene in the other room. Simple app on Facebook. You can circle your face, tap it, and tap a picture and move your face. I actually thought it was somebody else's body the way they were describing it because it never happened. Then I'm thinking the only way I touch myself like that is showering. Walk outside. She figured out what they did. But yeah, I had all this whole group just, yeah. And then they put a shower scene, damn bastards. Now, I was thinking March 13, 21, 2:53 p.m. I go in and they come in. We're here for Karen Sewell, the agency chipper. They point right at me, the nurse. Is that why she's here? An old woman gets in my face. The agency wanted the truth out of you. That's why they chipped you. They tell Dr. Alan and Atina, some damn bastard neurochipper. They let those people flash fake badges and let them in the back of Altman Hospital. I'm not mad at Altman, but they need to give up their surveillance of that emergency room and turn it over to the FBI and the police. Because I went to the FBI building. Why would you think you have a chip? Let's see, 12/21/18, stabbed in the neck of the refrigerator, foggy, hazy, dark, bright light, felt myself cry. Woke up with 4-inch bruise under my ribs, a dent in my head where it was round. Skin feels funny, hair is missing, a steak knife with bone and flesh in the sink, and another man's comb on the dresser, and Dave's accusing me of having an affair, and I had no idea what happened. My head was pounding, and I went back to bed. And people are breaking and stabbing me with needles. Within 10 days there at Walmart, we implanted a neural chip. We all can reach a thought. I thought you're lying. I have a dent in my head and this head is pounding, but you didn't do that. You couldn't have done that. Paralyzed patients have since 16. Paralyzed man plays computer with brain chip. Paralyzed man plays a video game with brain chip. Comes up with a cell phone once since 16. It's medical field stuff, but it's a legal strategy for the truth. But they were in the back. They need to pull those surveillance tapes because what if they touched a computer? They could have stolen everybody's information that ever went to Altman Hospital. That hospital let them in the back. They should have called the police or got the police officer there to call it in and make sure that badge was real. They scammed them. And if they touched a computer, they could have stolen everybody's information there. That's how not funny this is. Because I went to the FBI building. Why would you think you have a chip? A Canton officer walked by, his phone ding. Right off my information. I have something in me. Because how do you do it? Yeah. This isn't funny. None of it is. I told Officer Reinhardt in Louisville about the chip. Or about the illegal surveillance. And I didn't. And he started, and I told him about the shower scene in the room they're talking about. He started giggling. Crossed his arms, started giggling. I don't care. I said, they're supposed to drug me and told me to say something stupid, and I didn't talk to anybody. I don't care. I don't care about one thing until we'll agree to protect you. There's nothing else. It's illegal to be in somebody's house, and it's illegal to look and listen. Per Department of Justice, who do you report? Anybody for illegally surveillance in your home. FBI, ICE, local police department, Department of Justice. It's a legal search and seizure for the amendment. Further into the law, police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life. Failure to notify before initiating and speaking to the other person in the home is abuse and misconduct, and failure to protect is abuse and misconduct, because you can always tell someone you don't want their help, and it goes into legal search and seizure. I told you January 25th, 2019, and Wells illegally bugged my bugged house. The police told Dave, well, I'm crying in my room. The police always knew she was innocent before. They were talking about it at the station. Some guy was bailing his guy out from team and said, if she's innocent, I'll pay a fine and bail. The police said, no, she's already knew she was innocent before, and somebody else did something wrong before. That man framed me. 2 apartment buildings for mine. You framed her before? Yeah, I framed her before. Shame on you. I know I wish I wouldn't have done it. Those people even right there. March 24th, 22, 1:30. Amy heard it in the apartment building, forming second to the fence, and even out at Ron's because they sold a login to everything. People were yelling, we all heard that bastard meant to frame her. Just like February 2nd, 22, Burlington Coat Factory. Another kid that looks like that guy that went to Pima. Wish I wouldn't have drugged her and told her to say it before. People ran in and saved a lot. My client, Paul, lives on 6th Street. He ran, a guy in an African-American man in a brown house ran out, yelling it to the post office. Postman's like we all heard. They have made this case public knowledge. And it's sick and disgusting. But yeah, somebody needs to do something about this. I was found innocent in 18 and 19. The Ravenna police told the North Kent Jackson police the worst thing you ever did wrong, honey, is bend over and properly. We can wipe that one out. He's giggling. That was one of Melissa, my daughter-in-law's mean games of pretend. They only made fun of the back of my knees. Picked out a wrong nightgown and said they seen my butt years ago. Nobody said anything. And I didn't even own that nightgown, and they verified it in the house. They all know they lied. They made up like 6-7 lies. They were friends with retired Judge Pete's daughter, Auntie Michelle, a young blonde girl. So nobody's ever said a word. Nobody's ever questioned me. I've never been found guilty, never prosecuted. Actually, the police told me not to worry about it. Nothing is admissible but Will's case. It's not. They can go to jail, and they're looking for some of them for stalking, for doing it. So that's where November 24th, 21, 8:40 a.m., an officer in uniform comes in. I'm here to, Altman, Stat Karen Wales, I'm here to watch her. There's a Steve and Eric stalking her, and we don't know who they are yet, and it's finally got funny. After everything they did to her, nothing's admissible. No, it's not. Just like Officer Reinhardt said. So somebody needs to fix this. It's horrifying. They spread it's a terrorist group. They told that it's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. And I guess the guy at the Hunger Task Force, when the investigators talked to Ed, he was talking to the African-American man. So they always knew it's just a bunch of criminals down here. They got fake FBI badges. They may have fake CIA badges. Because some girls from my church came up December 16, 21 by about 1 o'clock. And by Dick's, there's girls walking out of Dick's. I enter and go through Macy's with my client Paul. We go down to Dick's, we're walking the mall, and they come out of Dick's. We told the guys running it, this neurochip, the 2 African American girl, hurts her. Oh, they'll make it up to her. No, honey, they're gonna kill me with it. Let's see. They come up with girls from my church, and we feel bad about everything. The CIA showed up at our church. Wanted to ask her about the guy, if we knew anything about the guy online she was talking to about that Trakasami thing. Well, some guy said he was dealing with him. So I told the CIA. I'm like, and they would already know that. I mean, you want to say you're dealing with a terrorist? I'll just tell the government on you. Just got information out of it, and it's more likely he was a scammer. You know what I mean? Come on. He was probably a scammer. But just in case he's legit and he's playing with hell, you tell me you're committing crimes, you show me some proof that you're doing it, that's big time shit. They would already know that I only talk to him online. It's government. Duh. And the CIA wouldn't show up at my church. They probably had fake badges, just like that fake FBI badge. They're like, they told us they knew that she was drugged and told to say it before, and they corrupted the doctor not to do her face right. And our pastor told us to stay out of everything, and we feel bad about going along with any of this because some of the people were mean. So more likely, they had fake CIA badges. But they had fake FBI badges and got in the back of Roman Hospital. And somebody needs to pull that surveillance tape. Not only get him for framing the FBI for the chip, but make sure they didn't touch any of Altman's computers. and stole information. I'm not mad at Altman. They do need to beef it up and get some more protocol. If somebody comes in with a badge, what do? You get a manager, and you get an officer to verify it, or you call it in and verify it. You never let anybody in the back. But they scanned them. But just make sure they didn't touch a computer. They could have stole everybody's information. That's how scary this is. Yeah. They run around and act like they get money. And like the police say, don't worry about it. We don't look or listen to anything they have. They can't enter it. They're just selling the lock into real terrorism, real rapes, real drugging, real photoshopping, real neurochipping, and it's just a terrorist group making money off of terrorizing victims. That's it. They told Dave March 1st to March 15th of 2019 it's a real life case of how to get away with murder. That's what's going on between 8:30 and 10:30 at night. They said the police actually found the tape of someone telling Dave that. Someone needs to stop this.